Guy Nation, what's poppin'? Crazy Dog coming at you on the Buckin' Crazy YouTube channel with another Buckeyes official visit weekend preview. And compared to last weekend, that was an absolute banger. Ohio State had 11 kids in town, and we only received crystal balls for one player, shockingly enough. And it was offensive tackle Aaron Thomas from Arizona. Speaking of which, yeah, we got another one for Aaron Thomas yesterday from the other Letterman Row writer, Mick Walker, who, of course, joins Steve Wilfong and fellow Letterman Row writer Alex Gleitman in posting a crystal ball for Aaron Thomas, 3-star tackle out of Arizona, to commit to Ohio State. So it sounds like we're looking good for Mr. Thomas. But still, I mean, with all the good things we heard, he was the only one to receive crystal balls. That's actually shocking, right? Of course, you look at the other visitors, Savion Hyder, Xavier Griffin. I mean, my confidence shot through the roof for Xavier Griffin. I really think Ohio State has a legit chance to land him. Not gonna lie. Jake Creel, Luke Wafel. I think at least one of those two will be Buckeyes. Max Sutter, not really hearing great things. I know he had a fantastic visit, but still, I think he is going to be a Crimson Tide when it's all said and done, unfortunately. Then you got Kerry Wilder, and I think he could easily be a Buckeye if Larry Johnson can get his act together and actually get active on the trail, because, yeah, he still has not landed a recruit in the class of 2026. Okay. And of course, you got Breck College, Cameron Brickle, of course, Corbin Fordham, who is an Ohio State commit, and then Aaron Thomas, who, as I mentioned, received 3 crystal balls to Ohio State. So he's practically a Buckeye. And the RPM scale has him 98% Buckeyes, 1% Florida State Seminole. I like the odds there. Now, you look at the RPM scale from last weekend, and Ohio State is the leader for Savion Hyder, 5-star running back out of Virginia. Love to see that. They are number 2 in the race for 4-star edge rusher Jake Creel out of Florida, IMG, just behind Oklahoma. I mean, just behind them, like nipping on their heels. It's 19% Oklahoma, 14% Ohio State. Looking good there. And then they are also in the running for 3-star defensive lineman Cameron Brickle, also from IMG Academy, where it's 48% Penn State, 18% Ohio State. But of course, that could easily change. Those are the only players who Ohio State is in the top 2 for, according to On3. But I would not be shocked if they also jumped up the top 4 Luke Wafel, 4-star edge rusher from New Jersey at the Hunton School. Also Kerry Wilder, 4-star D lineman from California. And how about Breck College? Also from IMG Academy, although he resides in Colorado. That's his hometown, but he goes to IMG. That'll be a very interesting couple of weeks here, looking at that group. Now, talking about the kids who are coming in this weekend, I mean, compared to last weekend, it's a much lighter group. Only 4 kids are confirmed for this weekend. Now, of course, you could have kids pop in out of nowhere. That could happen. And you could also have Ohio State bringing in some secret visitors. You know, players that they bring in, but they don't want the writers to report on because they don't want other schools to catch on and then start looking at those kids. I mean, look at Oregon. Look what they've been doing, right? I mean, we talk about us, we offer a kid, and then bang, they offer him too. Freaking copycat. Damn. It's like they don't even recruit their own guys. They just look at what Ohio State's doing and say, hey, we want him too. We'll have what he's having. They always do that. Schools do that. Now that I think about it, I see Miami, Florida do that all the time too. They look at what Ohio State's doing and then they just footsteps. Ohio State thinks he's good. We'll see about that. Talking about this weekend's visitors, again, only 4 kids confirmed. The first one and the biggest name on the list is 5-star safety Jett Washington out of Bishop Gorman High School in Nevada. He's ranked as the number 27 player in the nation, the number 3 safety, and the number 1 player in Nevada. And according to the RPM machine on On3, it's 24% Oregon, 21% Alabama. But if Ohio State has a banger visit with him, I could see us jumping up there. But when it comes to Ohio State's status at safety, I think we're pretty much set. I think we're going to get Braylon Womack, and that might be it. But who knows? We'll see what happens. Now, of course, if Braylon goes to Florida somehow, somewhere, because I don't think he commits until later, like near the fall. But I could see Ohio State swinging back on Jett Washington, but we'll see. Now, the next player I'm going to talk about is essentially a Buckeye at this point. He's visited Ohio State, I think, like 4 or 5 times, maybe more, for all I know. And that, of course, is 4-star running back Favor Aki out of Delaware Hayes High School, just down the street in Delaware, Ohio. He's ranked as the 179th player in the nation, the number 15 running back, and the number 9 player in Ohio. And his top 2 on the RPM machine on On3, 92% Ohio State, 3% Pitt. So yeah, based off the fact that he's visited Ohio State a crazy amount of times, I think he officially commits after this weekend. That's my bold prediction. And then the next 2 kids who will be in town, I actually don't have pictures for them because I couldn't really find any good ones on Google, but it's 4-star offensive lineman Drew Evers from Flower Mound High School in Flower Mound, Texas, and then 4-star defensive lineman Emmanuel Ruffin out of Bessemer, Alabama. He goes to Bessemer City High School, and Ohio State isn't in the top 2 on the RPM machine for him on On3, so yeah. And they're well into the 2 and 300s nationally. So they're down there. Of course, if they commit to Ohio State, they'll shoot up the rankings like nothing. Happens all the time. Now, what about next weekend? Oh my God. Next weekend? You're going to need like a freaking laundry list for this one. You need a pen and a paper for this. Because Ohio State's going to have 16, as of now, players in town for a visit. Now, has there been any names added? Tony Odom, 4-star cornerback, recently announced that he will be visiting Ohio State next weekend. Now, his top 2 right now are Miami, the U, and Nebraska. But it sounds like Ohio State might be a legit threat here. I think if he has a great visit next week, I think Ohio State jumps up the RPM machine. Now, other than him, there's no other names that were added, really, as far as I know. But I don't know. I mean, more names could be added. And then, of course, you got June 20th. And that is one of the most loaded days of the month. Bruce Gerald's would be in town. Of course, Justice Fitzpatrick, who just committed to Georgia. Derek Cooper, one of the other top running backs that Ohio State's going after, with Savion and Favor, of course, Braylon Womack, Chris Henry Jr., Simeon Caldwell, Landon Barnes, Damari Simeon, J.B. Shabazz, Luke Fahey, Brock Boyd, and Jaquaden Guilford. Just some of the big names that'll be in town in 2 weeks. And then as of right now, we have one game day visitor, Saturday, August 30th. It'll be Richard Wesley, who famously jumped into a pool during his commitment video with Dan Lanning. And then not even 3 weeks later, decommitted from Oregon. He'll be in Columbus for the game against Texas, as of now. So that'll be fun. But yeah, we'll see if anything pops off after this weekend. I mean, I think the most likely thing that happens is we get a commitment from Favor Aki. But other than that, I mean, we're still looking at last week's visitor list too. Do we get any more crystal balls? Because now those kids are going on visits elsewhere now. And hopefully Ohio State set the bar so high that these other schools can't top that. That's my hope. But we'll see what happens. And if I hear anything else, I will definitely be back, hopefully with some commitment videos. We'll see. But I'll be back after this weekend is over, probably on Sunday, and we'll see what happened. I'll give my recap on the weekend that we just had. Hopefully we get a commitment from Favor or something. That'd be cool. But yeah, with that being said, I'm Crazy Dog coming at you on the Bucking Crazy YouTube channel. Let's go Bucks! I'm out. Have a good weekend, guys. NBA Finals tonight on the main channel. You already know. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah. OH. I'm out. Bye-bye. Can't forget about the classic outro. Yeah.